Wait, what about welcome? It's the end of the week. It's Team Super Dad, and you're here with the wrap up. It's Saturday again, and there's good reason for that, and we'll get into it. Roll theme.
Welcome to Team Super Dad. Real dads creating their best lives ever. More time, more money, more fun. You are not alone. You're on Team Super Dad.
Good morning. It is good morning. Most weeks we say good evening, but it is Saturday morning here as we record the wrap up. It's good to have you all with us. Live streamers on Facebook, LinkedIn. Still, I love the fact that we're like gate crashing LinkedIn. We're like turned up at someone's posh wedding on LinkedIn, making a racket. But we are also YouTube, streaming on YouTube. Our YouTube listeners are going up and up. And I've clicked the button that put us on Twitch, but I haven't actually set much up. But we are live on Twitch as well. So hello, teenagers, gamers, and other DJs normally on Twitch. We're here as well, making a racket on the wrap up. This is a end of week hangout. Two dads chit-chatting, putting the world to rights, talking about our week, talking about our kids, talking about just normal dad stuff like love, life, work, money, what we like drinking, what we like less serious, more fun and less serious, a bit like being in a pub really. So Glen, aka a dating dad on Twitter, good to see you, Glen.
Good to be seen, and you're saying it's a bit like being in a pub. Pubs are now open, sort of, so I cannot wait to partake of a beer in a beer garden. I don't even care that it's absolutely brass monkeys outside. I just want the concept of walking to a bar, going away with a pint glass of something. I don't care what's in the pint glass. I just want a cold pint of something in the sunshine.
Cold pint of piss for Glen, please.
I've drunk at Wetherspoons before. I've had a lot worse.
My brother's actually drunk a pint of piss.
Oh, mate, that is something to put on your LinkedIn profile.
He didn't mean it, and he was about 17. I believe it was in the Minstrel pub, and they set him up. We'll have to get him on to verify this, but they had a drinking when he came back from the bog. They were like, right, we're doing a down it, and someone had pissed in the Jim was
like, man,
I wasn't there. I don't know how far he got through the pint, but. My brother's good lad. He's as gullible as me. Basically, it's a DNA thing. I think we can blame our dad, but he's also got some big chops on him. So he's all in. When he's all in, he's in. Basically, hello to the French connection, Jim. Good to check you in there, Jim. We'll leave it at that. I don't even know if I've got any worse stories for my brother, but. I'll tell you what we do. We'll get some of his mates on for his birthday. We'll do like a roasting, not a Dwight York roasting, an American TV roasting. We'll do that.
See, this is the thing. I'm desperate. My brother proposed to his missus about 8 years ago, and they're probably not going to get married. But I'm gutted because I've been collecting insults for years as a full-on. Basically, I've got to trim it down to an hour's worth of material just to rip the shit out of him. That's what best man speeches are all about, really. I cannot wait for him to do it. I'll pay for the wedding myself.
Yes. Just send the invites out. Take charge. Her mum will be in. The fiance's parents will be all in. So, but they have to pay for it. But yeah, there you go. You tap them up for the cash. You organise. It'll be a perfect storm. Perfect. For anyone joining us for the first time, great to have you here. You can comment. Someone has already. Brilliant. Who is it? It is Mr. Pizzy, Team Super Dad member and friend. Good to have you here, Paul. Just like Paul has commented. There we go. If you if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook, it will pull your Facebook profile in and not your profile. It'll pull your picture in. Don't worry. We're not going to show you life history. It'll pull your picture in. You can comment. You can ask a question, abuse us, or join in with some banter about your brother. So that's if you're watching. If you're listening, and of course, if you are watching, then share away, subscribe, just do all this clicky stuff so that we get the love. And if you're on the podcast, then brilliant to have you here. We would love some more reviews, so please do that whilst you're listening. And most importantly, subscribe so you can catch every episode. And by the way, Glen, just to let you know, I've recorded 2 episodes this week of the midweek Team Super which is a little bit more serious, which again is in keeping with the whole Team Superdad message. There's we're equipping dads to create their best life ever in focus, fitness, finance, family, and fun. And then we're having a laugh as well, because what is the point of doing all this hard work and getting through life if we're not having a laugh and joke whilst we're doing it? And that is the point of the wrap up. So there you go. That's why someone should subscribe to the Team Superdad podcast. I had a guy on Tuesday. Good guy, right? I'm not gonna knock. But anytime you have an accountant on your podcast, it's going to be the thought's going to run through your head like, how fun is this? Like,
just to check, this is a real accountant, not a TikTok accountant.
No, I don't know what a TikTok accountant is. What's one of those?
It's a stripper.
Oh, brilliant.
And the whole thing about strippers saying, so in order to kind of deflect from what they do, when someone asks them what they do, they say, I'm an accountant. Because no one ever asks any questions about an accountant. It's like, okay, well, you do sums, and that's it. They just accept it. Whereas if you ask any other job, they'll ask questions that the person might not answer. So strippers are accountants.
I'm going to do one of those face app things on all my accounting friends and get like a Chippendale thing. I'm getting Porky in my mind. You know, classic Porky's when he puts his knob in that hot dog. Is that a thing? If you've ever done a prank on someone by putting your knob in a hot dog bun, I would be interested to know if that actually works. A friend of mine, Chris Peterson, in America, he told me, and bearing in mind, Chris was a couple of years older than me, so pretty much most of the things that he told me were an eye-opener. So when I was about 14, he told me about when he took a girl to the cinema once in the movies in America. And whilst she went off to the loo, he made a hole in the popcorn and managed somehow knob in the popcorn so that when she got down into the popcorn, there was his old fella, which sounds very Porky's-esque and hot dog, very American. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, it's I've heard other people do that, but the idea of salty popcorn on a penis, it just
you've heard of do that.
Yes, it's a standard kind of trope of cinema going. It's a standard prank.
Genius. See, I'm I'm naive, so flipping. I'm
sheltered.
I'm Simon from the Inbetweener,
which is a show that I bloody love.
I never want to admit that I'm Simon, right? I never. But then subjects like this come up, and I guess I could be a little bit Will as well, but probably more Simon. I'm like, that's actually a thing. No way. No. For any of our American friends, I actually do this with my American family quite a lot, actually. There is a TV show from the UK, a comedy. It must be, 10, 15 years old now, probably?
Oh, at least, and the rest. In fact, while you talk, I'm gonna look up how old it is.
So the Inbetweeners, right? As quintessentially American as Beavis and Butthead is, the Inbetweeners is the UK's flipping. So it's four school lads, all around 16, 17. So just starting to drink, have sex. Talk about having sex and fail miserably, but it is so gut-bustingly funny that I not only did I, the first time I ever saw it, we watched about 12 episodes straight. I think we watched the whole season, first season 1, all the way through. But whenever it's on TV, I can't help but turn it on. And it was on last night after I put the kids to bed. I came back downstairs, and there it was.
2008, the first one aired, and it's one of those weird things where even though it's technically a bunch of school kids, it's funny to adults. It's not aimed at kids. This is a very, very grown up TV show. But it's a work of genius, and just the language of everything. It's just some of the insults that they throw around are absolute works of genius. I've got to say, I love the things.
Jay, they were at that one last night with the one. Here's my daughter. Yes, Rosie. You can take some leggings, wear whatever you want, and bring some cold clothes as well. Well, when I finish the podcast, I will come and help you choose your clothes. Yeah, wear some leggings. Go for it. Yeah.
But shall I do my hair? And then I should get dressed when you're done.
Yeah, get dressed when you're done. Yeah. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Cheers. That'd be like the president just in the middle of early stages of a nuclear war. Daddy, should I plait my hair or wear it down? And then when you answer it, they go, "Oh, okay." Well, I'll wait till you're finished and then we'll do it.
Yeah.
Love my kids. Love my kids. It's at Nancy's. We'll pick it up later. Yeah. So they're at the party, right? and Will ends up snogging or seemingly snogging the actual fit the hottie at the party, and all the other lads are gutted. So then Jay's talking about getting a girlfriend, and Neil says to him, "Well, you're never going to get a girlfriend, Jay, because you're a fucking twat."
It's so simple. So simple. Yeah, I know so many people like that, and I'm sure I've been described in the self-same way.
I know, it's just genius. Bro, I say no, but if you want to do it, go for it. Yeah.
It's my hair.
I don't know, but if you want to do it, go for it. I think so. Yeah, go for it. Yeah. So go and search it up. Basically, it will be on the flipping.
It's the channel, yeah, all four. It's on the Channel 4 app for sure. And so I'm sure whether there's some sort of international version of that. If not, it's the sort of thing that is absolutely worth going to prison for. So do stream it illegally.
Yes. Well, I say illegally. I like to think of that as the grey area.
Okay. Well, find a streaming site, and if you do, you will enjoy it.
Exactly. They call it the dark internet, but what we call it, I think that's just a grey area. It's a grey area of the internet.
The dim internet.
Andy Arter, he says the Inbetweeners is in the USA too, Johnny. Not as good that. What?
Oh, there's an Inbetweeners version in the US. Oh no! That is not good.
So Andy, thanks for that bit of contextual input there. So if you're American and you're watching the Inbetweeners USA, I would like to bet my flipping future house on the British one being a bazillion times better, basically.
There is a US version for ABC. The pilot was filmed but didn't pick it up. MTV, however, did pick up the series of 12 episodes. It ran for one series and was cancelled by MTV due to low ratings.
There you go. I think maybe the humour is just lots of basically. It is just every British lad's school experience, basically. It was mine. So yeah, I love a little bit of retro TV. Absolutely awesome. It's the end of the Easter holidays, though, Glenn. Are you glad to see the back of your kids? I know as single dads, maybe you're not.
No, I love Easter holidays. I love all the holidays with my kids. Now I've got a job where I've got unlimited annual leave, so I can take as much annual leave as I want. And so I've already booked off every single holiday for me and the kids when I've got them. And partly it's lovely to just have a break from work and break from being in back to back meetings constantly. But I do really enjoy spending time with the kids. I enjoy their company, and I try and mix it up in terms of going out and going for walks around lakes and that sort of stuff. But when I've wanted to spend time with them, I'll be honest, all they want to do is sit and build things in Minecraft. I've genuinely invested probably about an entire day's worth of time this week, because they've built me a world, and I said, what should we build? Let's build your dream house, Daddy. And I said, well, okay, well, what I want is a lake. And they couldn't find a lake. So we spent like 4 or 5 hours building a frigging lake, digging a big hole and then filling it in with water.
And are you in there? You're in as you got your own flipping, what they called avatar. Are you in the game?
Oh, well, no, the kids have got, we've got 2 controllers on the PlayStation. So there's 2 of them on the big screen, and then one of them does it on the iPad as well.
Yeah.
And so I've obviously you get an account when you just use it. I don't know what they just give me a controller. I say, press this button a few times, and then they kind of teach me the basics and those sort of things. And basically they're building my dream house. I've got I want to build my own house, and I've got a real clear vision. I've designed it. I've drawn it. I know where the plug sockets are going. I know what it's going to be in real life, and they want to translate that into Minecraft. So that's what we've done. We've started. We've got the upstairs done. We're doing the downstairs now before we do the basement. But yeah, we had to build the surrounding bits first. It's taken bloody hours. But I was sitting there being upset that they weren't playing Lego or doing paintings or doing this stuff with me. And I realized that's their toy, that's their game. And if that's where they want to play, why am I trying to force them to come to what I will think is right, when actually they're enjoying it? They are learning teamwork skills. They'll say, right, we need this, so we've got this long to do this bit, and then it's basically project management skills they're learning and communication stuff. It's just not in a way that I'm familiar with.
Yeah, and they're trading things and they're talking. And my objection to parents that are a big no to these things is that when you take your, however they, whether they go to uni or whether they go into work after school, you take that person and put them into the workplace, and they're suddenly required to, like you say, be in a project, colleagues, deal with people they don't like. What's the word? Like compromise. Alone the digital skills of talk and type and watch at the same time and things like that. But I'm just my son, right? Could you peel a potato, please?
You're asking him, or he's asking you?
No, yeah, he's just asking me to peel. No, I'm asking him to help me peel a potato last night for dinner. So he is kind of helpful, and he's 11-year-old, so he's preteen, practicing being a teenager very well. So he pretty much gives up on the potato after. You've just built the flipping Metropolis. You've built Narnia. You've built a real life version of Smallville. Like, and you can't peel me a potato. You've little shit. Like, how much you love me? And I'm going into full drama. Like, is that how much you love me? And my kids are going, calm down. It's just a potato. I'm like, it's not a potato. It's not a bloody game. Because there's been a week, it's the end of Easter holidays. It was first a week, and now they're back, and I love seeing them, but I just can't handle the noise. Like I don't tell them to be quiet very often, but it kind of goes once it's up to sort of level 5, DEFCON 5 in noise level, and I'm just like, ah!
And you've heard about there's parents who their kids are playing Minecraft too long, so they hire people to break into their Minecraft world and destroy their village and destroy all their work. It's like breaking your kids' toys because they're not behaving. I think that's next level parenting. There's part of me that massively respects it.
So what, you can go on like Fiverr or People Per Hour or
probably on the dim web.
There's livid parents searching Twitch for flipping Minecrafters, and they're doing dodgy deals on a couple of Bitcoins. Well, not a couple of Bitcoin, blimey. 1/1000th of a Bitcoin. Could you go in and
assassinate their Minecraft village and just absolute rampage and destroy all their work?
Yeah. Are we talking Rambo-esque kind of destruction, or just a little bit of mild?
I'm guessing the commissions are available, whatever you want to do. But it's so easy to destroy these things that a couple of 100 cases of TNT, and that's it. That's months of work destroyed instantly.
I've got visions of Minecraft skins of like Arnie, like in
putting the war paint on the face. Yeah.
Sorry, son. Your parents sent me. I did have I think my sensitivities around it come from my stepson though, and it did lead to us kind of falling out, and that's a little bit painful for me because I was just trying to protect him basically, and my downside with Minecraft, and this is our little bit of sort of serious chip for the show, is it's very immersive. So as your kids get better and better, if, as was the case with my stepson, his social sort of skills at school weren't, he didn't fit in quite as nicely, as easily as he wanted to. And so he found his place in Minecraft, where he has suddenly had some social currency and respect because he was so good at it. And I was keen to, like a step parent, this bad step parenting skills, but I was keen to kind of nurture our relationship and support him and let him do things. But he was playing online at night, and then he wanted to download these new mods. I mean, Minecraft, on the one hand, it's come a long way since then, but also 5 years ago, you could do way more, it seems, stuff, well, way more stuff than my son knows about now. So he was up in the middle of the night playing mods, like modifications. So he got into playing these prison mods. And so all I know, if someone said to you, "Oh yeah, I'm playing a prison mod," I'm thinking, that's not.
Yeah, you're thinking, let's make sure he stays out of the showers.
Yeah, totally. So then one night he goes, "I need $40." And what do you need $40 for? I've got to pay Billy Bob 192 $40. So, well, who's Billy Bob? He runs the Alcatraz, right? So do you know Billy? But how old is he? Don't know. Where is he? Don't know. But what? So yeah, but I keep getting to this level, and then I get killed, and then everyone's taking the piss out of me. So I need to be able to. I need to pay Billy Bob the money. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, swap Minecraft for crack. Like the word.
Yeah.
Like, I need to give Billy the money for the crack because everyone else is giving me a hard time for not taking the crack. And I said, he goes, he's crying. He goes, I just don't feel in the real world like I do when I'm playing Minecraft. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's deeper issues.
And I knocked it on the head, and then of course that just flipping torpedoed our relationship, which is a bit sad. But then a little bit like around the time when he was 16, before he stopped talking to me, we did chat about it, and he goes, yeah, I was a bit too consumed about it. But positive note for parents, he's like, it was a phase, it kind of passed. But then I don't know whether that was because I stopped him playing or whether who knows. But I think my tip for parents there is my kids, it just suits our setup right now that my kids have he has his Xbox in the lounge with a separate TV. So I'm pretty aware of what he's playing. So
yeah, I've got all my the PlayStations and bits and pieces. There's an old PlayStation in their bedroom, but they never really use it because it's a PS3, I think, and then the PS4 is downstairs until I get my PS5, until I can bloody find one of the things. I'll
tell you, there's a Twitter handle. I'll ping it to you after the show.
Magic.
When they get the stock updates, they talk about it. Obviously, a dating dad is all over Twitter, and that's how I got Jago's Xbox Series X from Amazon in Germany.
Magic. Well, I shall absolutely be dealing onto that. But in any case, it will end up being on the main telly downstairs. And then I've got a load of laptops, but the one that they use because a better graphic card is the gaming desktop thing. And so that's downstairs as well. So I can see and monitor what they're playing. And I don't let them have screens at bedtime. So when I tuck them in at night, I remove all handheld screens that they've got. And so they can't end up playing anything late at night.
Glenn, this is good stuff. I love it when I think I've got a random parenting kind of thing, and then someone else who I consider a quality dad says, "Oh no, I do the same thing." Yeah. So, however possible, get your kids' devices in the lounge, because it turns. Otherwise, they will spend how many hours they spend playing it. They're away in their bedroom, and I love it. I mean, I don't love it because I just have to put up with them screaming and hollering and blah blah blah. But when he then talks about it, I've seen enough of what's going on that I can talk about, I can converse, and yeah, some of it I'm absolutely fed up with, but that's part of the parent-child relationship, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. And there's bad bits about it, but there's going to be bad bits about anything they do, whether it is, even if it's football. My nephew is absolutely obsessed with football and Formula One, and he wants to have debates and so on about whether the 1983 FA Cup final was a fair matchup, and because this person did this and that person did that. He's got a memory of facts and knowledge and information that is just mad. Now, what's worse about that than Minecraft? There's going to be ways of exploiting him in terms of football stuff as much as there is for Minecraft stuff. So whatever they do, there's going to be good bits and bad bits, and I guess it's just about, I think I want to fish where the fish are. And if my kids are swimming in the Minecraft sea, then if I want to spend time with them, I've got to dive right in.
Yeah, so true. Find those common grounds. I tell you, a common ground that I don't have with my daughter or seemingly my girlfriend is camping, Glenn. I've been told in no uncertain terms by my daughter many times going camping.
Why not?
We scarred her age 3. You can't believe that kids can remember things age 3. She's like, well, Daddy, we went camping when I was little and it rained.
And
it did. It was like biblical rain. She was crying. It was, the water was running through the tent. It was pretty horrific, but I can put up with camping for a weekend. The whole world's going camping mad because it seems like, I don't know if we're going to get to be able to go away this summer. I think Bob's going to try and keep us all in the UK, so we spend millions in the UK.
Oh yeah. This is, and without getting too political about things, this is a Brexit dreamland because it means that British money stays on British shores.
Don't spend your pounds in France. Yeah, totally. but so last summer camping was but we both live in Kent. It was insane how many glamping sites popped up. It was basically just a farmer who cut the grass in his field, rented a porta toilet, and said, "There you go, posh camping. We got showers and a field. What more do you want? Garden of England, come camping."
We love camping at my house, and partly it's because I've always done it. I've ever since being a kid, I've always gone away camping. So my kind of love for it has gone through. We never did with my ex because her idea of roughing it was a 4-star hotel. But in terms of the whole camping experience, the first year I had the kids by myself, the first year post divorce. In the summer of that year, I wanted to take them away on holiday. We had never been on a family holiday with all the kids there. Barely been on holiday with just numbers of them. So I decided what we'd do is I had them for a week. So we'll go camping. So the first stop was to a camping shop to buy a tent. And then I said, right, where should we go? And we were kind of on our way-ish to Dover. So they said Dover. So we went to Dover, went to the White Cliffs of Dover and Dover Castle and stuff. I said, right, where now? And one of them said, it was her turn. So he said, Chocky Wocky Doodars. So I drove to Brighton. Then one said she'd done a project on Stonehenge, so we drove to Stonehenge, and that's for a week. We'd just drive somewhere, like hang out there, go to Stonehenge, go to Bristol, see the great SS Great Britain, go to climb a little mountain in Wales, just wherever we fancied going for a whole week. We'd just wake up each day, decide where to go, pack the tent up, go there, find a camping spot and go and do the things. And it was just the most magical time. And since then, the kids have loved it. And I try and take them away when they're about 9-10 years old. Because I've got 4 of them little beasts. One-on-one time is really rare. So one of the weekends in the summer when they're all at their mum's, I'll just basically take one for a weekend. And we'll go to Wales or the Midlands or somewhere and just camp and hike, and just me and them one-on-one, little tent, and just go there because they know I do it with my brothers, and they see that as a really fun thing. And it's just an easy way of doing things that gives you a real sense of freedom.
Yeah, I think it's the Bulletproof Coffee guy. He shares in some of his podcasts I've heard about how he has regular time carved out where him and his wife will go away. So it's like every 12 weeks they have a weekend away. So it's just a reset for them. And he does the same with his kids. He's got 3 kids, and he says there is weekends scheduled in the year where that child knows it's just me and him or her for that. I wasn't even planning on getting into that, but I think that's another good thing about camping is you can just grab it and go basically.
Yeah, and it's really, really low cost as well. And yes, there's no luxuries, but that's part of it. In fact, my younger brother, who he's in the reserves and so on, he started a business up teaching people, or he started out just before lockdown, so that was crap timing. But teaching them survival stuff and hiking and camping and wild gathering, all that sort of good stuff. So he needs when things open up again, he needs a few people to start going along, to not just in terms of money, but also in terms of him setting up a business and having some clients to point to and say, yeah, we took this group away and we did this and that. So we're definitely going to do that. If anyone else wants to jump on, you're more than welcome to.
We can do it at Team Superdad. I posted in the Team Superdad group today, right? So it said, when was the last time you did something dangerous or wild? #. And that's clearly going camping is not exactly dangerous or even that wild, but getting out of your comfort zone is vital. It's did we talk last week about the climbing frame I climbed up and it's
yes
about me? Yeah. So so when I posted this in the group today, I said, like, when was the last time I did something that was actually outside of my comfort zone? And it was a few years ago. And that just makes you realize, wow, okay, I need to get rough. I need to get out there, do something that's out of the norm. I think that's so important to our health, to our well-being, to our stress levels.
And there's different types of camping, isn't there? There is the turn up at a campsite with a toilet block and showers and all that sort of stuff, and that's one type of camping. And then there's the let's just go into the wilderness with an egg and a knife and see what happens. Now we went away to just before lockdown hit last year for the first time. We went off to Ben Nevis because me and my brothers, we try and get away once a year or so, and just go and do a couple of days in the mountains. And we were doing Scotland, and we went to Ben Nevis, and yeah, the weather was so bad. We got sort of halfway up, 2/3 of the way up, and it was just cloud cover, and it was freezing and snow and ice, and it was fun. But it was dangerous because we couldn't see where we were going, and we knew that if any of us had any trouble, that's it. We're done. And it is dangerous. So it has got a degree of risk in it sometimes if you do it right, but it can also just be bloody relaxing as well.
You turned back and ended up in the pub.
Well, we literally did. We went to Fort William and had ended up watching a Proclaimers tribute act in one bar and dancing the night away. And it was a great night out, but it wasn't exactly what we planned. But our tents, we'd camped literally on the lock, and so we're waking up, open the door of my tent, and
Glen's frozen.
Trees
Back
and stuff. Stunningly beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a story. We went to the Isle of Wight, right? This is about I bet it was about 2006, something like that. Maybe 2008. So we entered an obstacle course race, an OCR called Tough Guy, which is pretty much the original one in the UK, right? None of these made up things in Hyde Park. This is on a horse sanctuary in Wolverhampton, and it's set up I think in the early 80s was the first one, by an old army dude, and it literally is just rough as arseholes basically. And the majority of the people that are entering are all former squaddies, and so it's just a lot of fun. So it was the first time that we'd done it. So Jack and John, kind of bit tongue in cheek, said, "Oh, we need to have a training weekend." So they organised for us to go to the Isle of Wight, take tents with us. John went on eBay and bought like army rations, flipping cardboard biscuits and boil in the bag meals, and like space food basically. So, and it was a lot of fun. We walked all the way up to the Needles on the Isle of Wight, and then we're at the beach. By then it's about 6 o'clock. So then they decided that we were going to camp. Turned out you couldn't just camp anywhere, so we had to go and hide like in the woods and camp. Then the conversation swung around to the idea, the fact that we didn't have any booze or Rizzlers, right? So the kind of
schoolboy era,
the antithesis of the sporting camping kind of thing. They called a taxi driver, and John, he decided he was going to pretend that we were a family, right? So he creates this ruse with the taxi driver about we're a family and we've run out of stuff. Could you possibly go to a shop and bring it to us? Right? So
booze and drink. And
he goes like, we need some bread and we need some milk. So the guy's like, yeah. And then he goes and 48 cans of Stella and 3 bottles of red
wine. It didn't work, though.
It did. Half an hour later, flipping, I don't know whether it was Eugene or Stavros, turned up in his minicab, and the deal was done. It was hilarious. We couldn't believe it had worked. We could, as we made a fire that we shouldn't have and camped where we shouldn't have been camping, drinking beer that we had no right to.
No, that is truly man surviving in the wilderness, I gotta say.
I think that is good, isn't it? And that feels quintessentially British as well. Just blokes taking the piss, making it happen. Brilliant. Kudos to John and Jack for always bringing some madness to our lives. Glen. Well, we're at 34 minutes. This is good. I'm enjoying it. My kids keep coming in, by the way. Rose, she looks an absolute mess. She's put all this glitter through her hair. So when I get off the podcast, we're now going to have to wash her hair, I'm pretty sure. But that's there we go. That's all part of being a dad.
It is, and at least at this stage, you're sitting there and you look fairly chipper, and you're not sitting there nursing a Friday night, Saturday morning hangover.
I know. I was thinking about this earlier. I was chatting to my dad because I had Joe. Oh, Sarah and Catherine came over this week.
My God, you are so bad. You would be the world's worst spy. You cannot keep a secret. This is ridiculously terrible. I mean, this is your secret to keep. This isn't one that you have to remember from someone else.
Okay, so we had a few drinks, right? A couple of gin and tonics. So little, a couple of gin and tonics, and it was like, it's midnight. I'm, whatever, gone to bed, and I got a headache. And like
from a couple of gin and tonics.
Yeah, it's just
what's happened to you.
I don't know. I mean, I've always struggled with headaches, hangovers, but basically headaches. Not one of my reasons for disliking things that went up my nose was that, like, of all the parts of it that I didn't really enjoy, like being in disgusting. There's just like, it was never, of all the fun I've had in the world, that particular activity just didn't really. I tried it a few times, just didn't work for me. Mm-hmm. One of the main reasons is that about 20 minutes after putting something up my nose, it would feel like someone had jammed 2 pencils straight into my brain, so the headache would come on. So and then I saw my dad the other weekend for the Tottenham Man United match. And so he goes, "Well, I had a few drinks yesterday," but he never gets hangovers.
Does he not get hangovers, or do you just not know that? Because I know my old man, there's no way he can drink as much beer as he has drank over so many years and not get hangovers. It's a physical impossibility.
I know, but I mean, I'm destroyed after a big night out. Like I have 2 Nurofen before bed, 2 Nurofen about 4 o'clock in the morning. Load of water. A tactical chunder would often be part of my pre-bed routine. Like if I've had literally a river of booze, I'm going to think to myself, I'm going to feel much better in the morning if most of this comes up before I go to bed. Yeah, and I can't do hangovers. It's out of order. But I mean,
do you think
you drink a lot? Or not drink a lot, but you like it.
I do drink a fair bit. But weirdly, I don't. I sometimes get hangovers if I've been drinking beer. Beer really, for some reason, does it for me. But spirits, rarely do I get hungover. I'm not saying never, because it happens, but rarely do I get it. However, I guess I'm like your dad. I don't usually let people know that. If I'm on my Todd, then I'll just lay in bed and die for the morning. That's great. That's no worries. But if people are around, I try and be a bit chirpy and so on, especially if it's someone like one of my brothers who I can see hanging out their ass. That's the moment when I open the curtains and start singing and being happy and joyful, because it's just fun to do. And they're sitting there dying, and I'm even if I feel the same, it doesn't matter. You put that shit out, and I feel like I'm gonna do the same with my kids as well. I think they've seen me hungover maybe once, but they don't see me. When I'm around, I don't want to get drunk. It's not like you'd absolutely know I was drunk. So I try and hide it from them as much as I can in terms of hangover the next day.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. If you're watching live, and if you're watching on the replay, put in the comments what is your number one, like, what's the thing that gives you the biggest hangover, basically. But you're a regular drinker. I think that's probably the nicest way to say it. Do you think that drinking often helps you not get hangovers? Like your body accustomed to it?
I mean, yeah, 2 things. One, you know your limits a lot more. If you never drink, then you just don't know how much you can and you can't.
My limits, clearly.
Whereas if you're a regular drinker, you learn how your body feels, how your head feels, how all of you feel, and then you can kind of translate. Because essentially, a hangover is merely happiness you've borrowed from the night before. So if I'm drinking, I draw down happiness from the morning, and the more happiness I draw down from the morning, the worse the hangover. That's all drinking is. And so you just work out your levels of happiness, draw down from the next day, and you balance it out a little bit.
This is like stoicism, Glenn. This is very, very flipping, wonderful, esoteric kind of way of explaining away a hangover.
But also when you are drinking, it's just like, and I'm not saying muscles and all that sort of stuff, but your body does acclimatize to whatever environment you're in. And if you're in an environment where you drink more, you end up being able to drink more. That's why alcoholics are alcoholics. They're able to process it at a faster pace and absorb it, and to feel a different way, I guess.
I just had to look up esoteric just to make sure. I've impressed myself there, I'll tell you. It turns out it's actually used appropriately. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just been a bit prone to hangovers. So I think probably if I didn't, I might drink a bit more, basically. But I'm kind of wary of them.
Do you have 1 day or 2 day hangovers?
I think 1 day, and I remember back in the day of like really caning it, those nights on the Sambuca where you'd wake up. We got into doing flaming Sambucas, putting them in your mouth and kind of the flame.
Oh, yeah.
We've got pictures of it. But then you'd realize that you'd kind of burnt your face because there would be Sambuca had fallen on you. Those kind of drinks where you get through the first bit in the morning, eat something, and then it's like it's I don't know. I think it kind of it absorbs other liquid from the things you've been drinking and kind of reignites. You kind of then get the 1 o'clock headache hangover comes back. But
it's about the science of drinking, and you'll get more drunk from drinking diet drink with you as a mixer than a regular drink, because your body basically, when you drink, it goes into your stomach and then it gets passed through at the rate of kind of, I don't know, 1 calorie a minute or something like that, and it's a constant rate of how it puts energy through you. And so the fewer calories in the mixer, and all the food that's going into you, the more food you've got going in, the more it's passing stuff through. Any leftover alcohol in your stomach is just going to get passed through to be absorbed in that next stage a lot more.
Oh, so have a Coke Zero instead of a Coke anything, or a flipping gin and tonic, basically. Okay.
I mean, the alcohol level will still be the same. You just get drunk a lot quicker. That's all.
A rice cake. So gin and tonics and rice cakes, very posh, basically. But no, I'm on a mission to get pissed out my brain. But I think the worst hangover my dad ever had was brilliant. His 60th birthday, we went out to this chateau in France. It was a brilliant weekend, basically. And he got so hammered. We went we were in the bar afterwards, basically helping ourselves. My dad knew the owners, and he was so hanging in the morning. He sat in the front row of this like overly large minibus that we'd hired to get us back to the airport, and he sat in the front row of the bus, and he was just staring out through the window. We were like, "What's Dad doing?" I was like, "I think he's just surviving." He'd either picked a point on the dashboard that he was focusing on, or he was looking at the Eiffel Tower 1,000 miles away. But he was so just hanging on the edge. That's the best hangover I've ever seen my dad. I was like, he is mortal. He actually is mortal. He's drunk a bottle of wine a day for his flipping whole life, basically.
Well, that's the thing. It can be. There's so many different stories about what's good and what's bad. Alcohol it's a drug. No matter what you say, it alters your state of awareness and so on. So it's got its side effects, but everything in moderation. I think it's just one of those things. And as long as you're not doing it so it's a problem, then more power to you.
Yeah, happy drunk.
My kids haven't yet been drunk, but I'm one of those stupid parents who lets their kids drink alcohol. So
you said the other week, you at dinner you let them have a drink. I think.
Well, I let them if they want. I never force them, but
you force them. But like on appropriate occasions, you let them have a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're saying, "Can I have a cider?" That's fine. I'm not saying if they're saying, "Can I have another one? Can I have one?" No. But they've got to get used to this sort of stuff and build up that healthy relationship.
No, when I lived in Holland, we this is the evidence of appropriate levels of exposure to things, and so normalizing it. I talked to Dutch people I worked with, and they we were at mid-20s. I think it was end of 1999 when my boss said to me, "Johnny, we wonder if you'd mind going to work in Amsterdam for 6 months."
Oh my God.
Okay. Yes, of course, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah. But yeah, the Dutch. But back in those days, we were still doing bucket bongs and like, and you can in Holland, and people. Oh no, I used to smoke when I was 16. It's like,
Mhm.
we're 22 now. What are you talking about? No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm past it. And I guess the same with the French. The British teenagers, we're necking bottles of Thunderbirds and anything we can get our hands.
2020 White Lightning.
Yeah, and the Frenchies are just like, what are you doing? You absolute flipping Viking.
Exactly that. So that's it. But I'm kind of, there is still definitely part of me that is looking forward to each of my children's first hangover, because it's going to happen at my house. It won't happen at the mum's. Their mum don't let them drink at all. So it's going to happen at my house, and I'm going to treasure it. I'm absolutely.
Is it going to be the one you expect? So your daughter's the eldest, right?
Yes, 16. She's going to be 17 in September.
Yeah, so is it going to fall in order, or is one of the younger ones going to surprise you with an absolute? Because I told you the story about when I flipping trashed my parents' house. Yeah, when I was 14. Yeah. Is it going to be one of those occasions, or is
I think it's going to be eldest daughter, eldest son, youngest daughter.
Okay.
So because it goes, so it'll go 16. Currently, the 16-year-old, followed by the 14-year-old, followed by the 8-year-old, followed by the 10-year-old. I think that's the order it's going to be.
Because the 10-year-old girl's very sensible.
She's wonderfully sensible. Whereas, the 8-year-old has got no sense of self-preservation whatsoever.
Oh, good. I think that's you know what? That's the good thing about being Brit. All the stuff that we've done as Brits, I hope that the fun that we were able to have as teenagers and 20-somethings isn't going to be taken away from our kids, because we were hanging out this week chit-chatting about the girlfriend. She was saying about how her and her mates they were going to pubs with makeup on and pretending like they looked 18, and clearly they obviously didn't, but didn't care. They were going into pubs when they were 14. And their mum's coming and picking them. Well, one of her friends' mums would come and pick them up. So we were laughing about that, and just, I don't know, let alone raving and clubbing and all the stuff that we got up to. I just don't know if our kids are going to be able to do that. I hope they are.
Yeah, well, I think they will, because there's always going to be those sort of places. But it's just a different world we live in. I'm hoping by the time they're old enough to do that, we won't have to plan fun anymore. You at the moment, to go somewhere, you have to book a table. And I hate I saw someone saying, we've just booked, it's my friend's birthday. So, we've got 90 minutes at this bar sorted out. What? You've got a start time and a finish time, and you've got to cram your fun into that. That's just horrible. I can't think of anything worse.
I think, this is time stamping this conversation, but I'm totally cool with that. It's just bonkers. The idea that we're going to forever over sanitize and have to book things in, and some messages on the radio, it's like propaganda. The government kind of adverts. Be safe. Just because we're allowed to go back out, make sure you're. And I guess that kind of makes sense, but really,
for now it does, and you've got to taper off that messaging and so on. But I just can't wait until I can say to someone, "Hey, Johnny, let's go out. Let's meet up at this pub. But then we'll see where the night takes us." And you can just wander around and go where because part of the night out is going from one pub to another place and to another place. The bit in between bars, the cold night air, is as much a part of a night out in Soho as anything else.
I hope there's this massive over adjustment, like we've talked about before, like the Roaring 20s and stuff. I hope there's this massive over adjustment where everyone just goes mental. England win the Euros. I don't know, whatever else. Glastonbury puts on a surprise.
2020 World Cup this year as well. Got the cricket coming up. The Oasis release a new album. No, maybe not that. Just the things that takes us back to the golden era of Britpop and the debauchery of a mixture of the 1920s and the 1990s.
All us 40-somethings, like
that's all it is. You go to nightclubs, and nightclubs these days are not like the only nightclubs that I know of around here are all filled with our age group, not with the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, which is for me wonderful, because I don't want to be going clubbing with a bunch of teenagers. But it's just weird. Where is the next generation of clubbers coming from? What goes through their heads that goes through our heads that isn't going through theirs?
I don't know. It's been so long since I've been out anywhere. But obviously now I'm back in the sort of the real world, girlfriend, social life, maybe. And so there could be two things. Like it's going to be like the planets are going to align. I'm actually going to have a social life and a reason to go out and the opportunity to do so.
It's going to be mad. I'm looking forward to that that mindset of getting ready for a night out. You know, you're doing the pre-drinks at home. You have a shower. You got the music going. You got things going on. You're getting dressed. And then for those of a certain gender, you're trimming up a bit of manscaping in there as well to make sure you're all set, no matter what happens across the rest of the night.
I saw a bloke in one of the groups this week asking that very question. Yeah, because all over the internet, I don't know, I guess it depends what you've been cookied for. Someone's selling these Manscaping. It's a brand. So they've taken your common or garden trimmers, beard trimmers, hair clippers, whatever, and then they've made them ball bag appropriate. And so now they're selling them as Manscape. It's like it's got a brand name. Mm-hmm. So this guy said on one of the groups, has anyone bought it any good? I'm thinking of getting some. Because when I use my hair clippers, I keep cutting myself.
Cutting yourself? Flipping. I mean, he's not got like razors and stuff that he's just going samurai sword style.
How close do you go? I mean, if you're going to go that close, surely you like literally shaving. Like literally.
I can't even imagine trusting anyone, let alone myself, with a blade that close to my most intimate of areas.
I go about a grade 3 on my pubes.
I don't even know what kind of grades there are. Just short back and sides, mate. Short back and sides.
I've been. Some people have had this conversation I've had before. Basically, that the people that don't have taken the piss. I was like, if I didn't trim my flipping pubes, it would be like Jeremy, David Bellamy.
But it's just ridiculous. Those are the same people, I bet, as well, who would expect a woman to do it for them, who would expect a woman to be trimmed up in various different ways, but don't want to do it. What's the difference? How selfish are you that you're thinking you do everything for me, but I'm not going to do anything for you? No, it's rubbish.
Well, I just imagine that they were someone without much body hair. Maybe they just
like a dolphin.
We used to call shocking teenage stuff, but a couple of lads in our class who sadly were late developers were called beagles by the rest of us. Which
beagles,
I dare say they are still emotionally scarred by that experience. But we didn't give it a second thought at 14. We just ruthlessly mocked them for not having any pubes.
But no, it's one of those. I'm not exactly. I'm not like David Hasselhoff in his prime. I'm not covered in back hair and chest hair and body hair all over. But equally, I'm not bald. You know, I've got hair and it needs to be kept in shape, because I would be as embarrassed as anything if good happy times were happening, but I hadn't actually taken care of myself.
No, I look older with more hair. I look older. I think a bit disheveled and trampy. Like I think it's good to trim it all up, keep it appropriate length. You wouldn't let your hair grow without cutting it. It'd be ridiculous.
Exactly. I think it's good for you, but also it's nice for the other person involved as well.
I've never shaved my chest though. I've trimmed my chest, and once I trimmed it too short, and it was insanely itchy. But no, those people that kind of bick.
I did do a comic relief or a sports relief or something, and we were all doing dares and bits and pieces like that. And one of my friends we paid him or sponsored him, whatever it was, however much, to shave his legs. So he proper bicked and raises his legs and got them all smooth as silk. And okay, that's fine. That's for charity. What we didn't realise was he liked the feeling so much, he actually ended up shaving his legs for the next 3 months. he just liked the way smooth legs felt on him. Yeah, we ripped shit out of him after for that.
Oh man, I guess if you like it, you know.
If he'd been a swimmer, I'd have understood it. But he was not a swimmer.
Yeah, he needed to work on his backstory. That's
yeah.
Oh, I've just realised Andy's comment from earlier was from LinkedIn. So where we are, the chavs at the posh wedding are actually getting some attention. That's brilliant. Absolutely,
which
brilliant.
is perfect for my professional reputation. Cannot wait for the questions in the office.
It's the weekend. We're work appropriate. I think we've done a good job at keeping under that bar. So that's about it, Glenn. Really, it's been another lovely hangout, another lovely wrap up with you. Any plans for the weekend? You got
no, a bit of Formula One, and that's about it. I was actually thinking today about, after qualifying, just going somewhere. I don't know where, I don't know what, but going out by myself, because I've got faff all else to do. So, you know, why not? So I might end up going for a walk in a forest or something.
Just loiter around pubs, yeah, and wear like a little badge saying "room for one," because like all these tables are booked, yeah. But there's some of them have got to have room for one.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, room for a small one, and yeah, I reckon that's fine. I just wish I lived in an area where there was 1,000 attractive women around, so I could actually use it as an introduction opportunity. But what I might do is I might just, I know what, I'll find somewhere that's got loads of I might go to West London or something and just book a beer table for 6, but just sit there by myself with a sign saying I have space, and then see if I can befriend some ladies.
You could. I like that talent. I like
pimp my table.
I like that tactic. I'm meeting the girlfriend's mother today.
Blimey! Now that's a big call, man. I actually popped something on Twitter asking people just randomly, because someone else had said about introducing friends to their other halves, and someone put. I mean, I know I met someone I was interested in. I met her mum on national telly, and she started asking about my sex life, which was all very, very fun, of course. But someone said, my dad met my brother's girlfriend and stole her from him. My brother was 15 and head over heels in love, lost his virginity, and then ended up calling his girlfriend his mum.
Oh, really full on
madness. Now I'm guessing
it's a bit older.
I'm guessing that Philippa's mum isn't going to steal you from her.
As it happens, because I've seen pictures of them on Facebook and stuff. Karen's mum is she's an attractive lady. She's which I always think is good. I always think that's good, because if
good genetics.
Yes, good genetics. You want to sort of make a picture into the future by looking at your other half's parents. My dad's nose does seem to get bigger the older he gets, though, so that might backfire.
Distinguished. It's a Roman nose. That's what it is. Roman. But yeah, I genuinely, when I'm swiping, I genuinely swipe left on people if I look at them, and you know, sometimes you can see someone as they're old, and you're thinking, you know, I'm not going to fancy that person in 20 years, 30 years time. So no.
No. Well, Prince Philip's funeral today, as we said last week. My face thing, when my mates made me look old on that face thing, I looked like a wrinkly Prince Philip. Like he didn't look wrinkly enough, anyway, before he died. Rest in peace. I was an even wrinklier version of Prince Philip. So,
well, hopefully, Jennifer's mum will absolutely love you. I'm sure she will. And I'm also assuming that have you got like a bunch of flowers to give her or something like that? That always goes down well.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Or a bottle of wine. You must have a bottle of wine hanging around.
I have, but that just feels a bit high.
Put a bow on it.
You.
I bought a bottle of wine for you. It's just something to make to gild the lily, you know, just to make it absolutely nailed. And so there's nothing that she can say that's going to be anything other than, oh, I like Johnny.
Oh, Glenn, you're giving me food for thought there. As we wrap up the wrap up, you've left me with a question. Conundrum. That's exactly what you've left me there. I wasn't going to succeed in pulling that word out after pulling out esoteric earlier. I fell short on conundrum. I'll let you know how that goes. And also, I did get a little present for her as well for the birthday girl. So
no, I'd say show it up, but it's gonna it unfortunately it's gonna have Philippa's name. I said Philippa already. Alison's name on it.
I could might be Sue. We can cover up. It does say Sue at the beginning. There we go. Look. Oh no!
Oh mate,
really, Sue's.
World's worst spy.
There we go. Look. There we go. I'm holding up one of the prezzies. It's for the garden. She's gonna
love it
in her garden. Hey,
it's and as we've spoken about earlier off air, it's a wonderful entry level present because you're setting the bar. If you're going for a long term relationship here, if you set the bar too high too early, if you were to take her away to Paris by a private plane and for a luxury weekend, for what you can do next year, you can't top that. So this is the perfect first step on that ladder to love.
Stepping stone. Yeah. And Paul, Team Superdad member Paul, he says, "Gild the lily." I'm going to use that. You've left your mark on our listeners today, there, Glenn.
Good work, Paul.
Love it. I flipping love doing these, Glenn. As we've said before, people that are listening, thank you for listening to the end. Please share, subscribe, like us, rate us, do the whole 9 yards. The more listeners we get, the more rewarding it is, basically. But we actually love doing this. So you might have to put up with us a little bit longer until either one of us gets utterly bored of this or upsets the other one. I'm a bit more stuck with it. A, because I love doing it, and B, because Team Superdad continues to grow. Those events we talked about, getting dangerous and doing things, that's actually happening. Both conversations with people in the Chamonix area about some weekends away there, and the Bearded Man Adventure crew in Wales. They look like a lot of fun. Those guys, they do some cool stuff in Wales, like canyoning and jumping off of things into water, and wilderness stuff, but they haven't done any firewalls, so they're really keen to team up with us at Team Superdad and bring the two experiences together. So watch out for that. I'm thinking maybe September we'll be able to get around to doing that.
Birthday time for me, so sounds magic.
Oh, we'll really push that danger button. Okay, perfect. Glenn, have a lovely weekend.
You too, Johnny. See you next week.
See you next week.